Hello! Today we're going to go over some books that I'm getting rid of, and my camera's at 10%, so I'm going to try to go really fast. First book I'm getting rid of is The Maidens by Alex. The whole name is cut off right there. Alex Michaelides. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going fast. This book follows our main character Mariana, whose niece is going to college, and suddenly there are murders breaking out at her school, and Mariana suspects her classics teacher. It was good. I liked it. I gave it 3 stars, but I just do not see myself wanting to read it again or give it to anyone else. I'm trying to let go of more books because I have so many, so this one's going to be one of the first ones to go. Next is Immortal Flower by Han Tuen. This book I bought for 99 cents. I was really pumped. It's a memoir of a girl growing up during the Chinese Revolution, but this is the second book. I don't think I'm ever going to make myself go out there and find the first book, so I'm getting rid of it. Next is Caught in the Revolution by Helen Rappaport. I was interested in the Russian Revolution. I wanted to read this, but then I realized that it just takes the point of views of the rich people during the revolution, which isn't the interesting part of the Russian Revolution to me. I want to hear about the working class. I don't really care that much about what the rich went through. So this one's not for me. I'm not going to read it. Also by Helen Rappaport, I have The Last Days of the Romanovs. I did read this book a few years back. I liked it. I thought it was really informative, but I'm just not going to go back to it like I will some other books, so I figured it's time to let it go. The next two go together, but they're both a part of the same trilogy. So the first book is Ruthless Gods, and the second is Blessed Monsters, both by Emily Duncan. This is part of the Something Dark and Holy trilogy. I read the whole thing. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it at all. I also hate how these books look. I just think it's really cheesy what the spines look like. So I'm excited to be getting this out of my house. This book is really hard to explain. Middle Game by Shannon McGuire. This book follows 2 twins. One is really good with words, one is really good at math, and they were invented in the lab basically, and the person who created them has this goal to raise the twins to the highest power. It's a whole alchemy thing. I liked the book, but again, I don't like it enough to keep it on my shelves. Next we have Order of Darkness by Philippa Gregory. This book follows our main character Luca, who joins this secret society and has to protect Christianity in the Western world. I actually didn't think it was too bad. I read it for a reading challenge, and the reason I picked this book up is because I thought I wouldn't like it. I did end up enjoying it. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I'm not going to continue with it. It's not really what my reading taste is right now, so I'm going to let it go. Next is The Prince of Mist by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This book follows a family. It takes place during British wartime. The family moves to a different house, and the house is haunted. It's a really good book, actually. I really like this one. I'm kind of iffy about giving it away, but I just know I'm never going to pick it up again. But I do highly recommend it. Next, there's another series. So the first book is Beware the Night by Jessica Fleck, and the second book is Defy the Sun. This series is kind of like a stereotypical dystopian where there's a very stratified society, and in the lower class there's this secret revolutionary force, which I really enjoyed in book 1. I was excited about this duology because I thought it would have a lot to say about class, and I thought it would have communist influences, but then you pick up the second book and it's no, the leader of the revolution is also actually both a bad guy, and both sides are kind of bad. We have to find a middle, and no. I hate that politically. It ruined the series for me, so I'm excited to get rid of these. Then we have The Iron King by Maurice Druon. I also read this one for a reading challenge because this is a book that inspired George R.R. Martin. However, I hated this. I hated this book so much. It follows Philip the Fair and family issues he was having essentially, but it's just so bad. The writing is terrible. You never get into the book. You're following one plot line for 3/4 of the book, and then all of a sudden it ends and you're expected to care about something new. It just it doesn't flow very well. Hated this book. Glad it's leaving my life. Then we have something I bought just for a cover buy, and it's The Men by Sandra Newman. I mean, this cover is really nice. Here, you can see it more there. The premise of this book is essentially that all men go missing, and it's just women left. The book doesn't do a good job at addressing, how trans people fit into that. It kind of is gross in that aspect. And it's also just stupid, the idea that like without men the world would be such a better place because women are so pure and would never hurt each other or do anything bad to each other. It's just kind of naive and I didn't like it. I do love the cover, but I'm getting rid of it. Next, I'm getting rid of For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. This is essentially every single YA Beauty and the Beast retelling that you've ever read. Like, nothing about this was original. I felt like I had read it 1,000 times before. I didn't enjoy it. I'm getting rid of it. Next we've got Blue Nights by Joan Didion. This one I'm kind of sad to be getting rid of. I was expecting to really like it because it's kind of her memoir talking about the death of her daughter and her feelings surrounding that. So it sounded really interesting, but I just couldn't get into it, which I feel like sounds really mean. It's about the death of her daughter, but I just couldn't do it. And I don't really see myself liking it again later. If I do get the urge to read this again, I can just buy it again, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen. So, saying goodbye to it. This next book I'm not sure if I really want to get rid of. It's A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. It follows a main character named Ged, who's like the greatest sorcerer of all time, but it follows his training in this book, as he makes some very bad mistakes. I liked it. To me, it felt like a stereotypical fantasy, but I do recognize that at the time it was breaking a lot of stereotypes and it was something new at the time. I did like it. I don't really know if I see myself continuing the series. As I'm talking about this, I kind of just want to leave it on my shelf, so I'm just gonna leave this on my shelf right now. Not getting rid of that one yet. After that, we have Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez. This book follows a young girl living in the Dominican Republic, and her family is trying to help usurp the dictator. It was really interesting. I feel like I learned a lot, and it was a really quick, easy read. I did like this one, but again, like others, I just don't see myself picking it up or recommending it to anyone. I don't think it needs to stay on my shelf. I don't even want to talk about this one. This one is The Ministry for the Future by Kim Stanley Robinson. It talks about climate change, but it like does it through a variety of different methods. Like you're following a bunch of different people, but then every now and then there's like scientific records in there, or it jumps around a lot throughout the chapters like that, so you never really know what to expect. It's just so long. It's way too long. It's so boring to read. I wanted to read stuff about climate change, and I wanted to read more than this. I didn't like it. I don't want to keep it. That's the end of the story. After that, we've got The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. It follows two twins who are black but very, very light-skinned to the point where they are white passing. And it follows these two different sisters throughout their lives, and as their lives diverge because one of the sisters decides to live as a white person. Very interesting book. I really liked this, actually. I think I gave it like 3 stars. Again, I just don't feel the need to keep it though. And then we've got the last book, Atonement by Ian McEwan? I don't know. This book is hard for me to talk about. It's not. But I liked it in the beginning. I thought the beginning was really strong, really interesting, but then the latter half of the book is so boring, and I feel like nothing happens, and I hate the ending, and I just didn't like it even though I really wanted to like it. So this is what I'm definitely excited to not have in my life anymore. Okay, well there you have it. Those are all the books I'm getting rid of. I think I'm going to be exchanging them at a bookstore rather than donating them this time because I just don't have money to ship them anywhere to donate them. So please don't judge me for that. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye.